You know, had to bring out a real U.S. made Les Paul. Look at the flame on that for this story. Uh, Probably in 2005 or 6, somewhere around there, my brother and I, my older brother and I, decided we would meet in New York and go see Les Paul. He used to play a Monday night residency at this place called the Iridium Club in New York. Really cool New York vibe club downstairs, down a set of stairs into this sort of basement place. It was awesome. Awesome club. So we had, Les was like 90 or something, so we were kind of like, hey man, if we're ever going to see Les Paul, we better get on this. So we met there, and we go to the club, and as we're walking in and we're walking down the stairs, I see this blonde guy walking up towards us, and I nudged my brother, and I said, hey, that's Eric Johnson. And as he walks past us, he was on his way up the stairs. I said, hey Eric, good to see you here tonight. You going to take in Les? He goes, yeah. I've seen him here a bunch of times. So I got to chat with Eric Johnson, who is just on a whole other league of, guitar player from most of us humans. So that was a thrill, just seeing him there. That was awesome. So then we go in, and we're sitting at this table, and two people away from me was that actress, Angelica Houston. Trying to think of what I know her from. I know she had a little bit part in Spinal Tap. She's a star, trust me. So anyway, so we're seeing the show, and actually it was before it started. Before the show started, we're all just hanging out, waiting for it to start. So I go into the men's room real quick, and I go in there, and there's one other guy in there. He's just a scruffy-looking homeless dude. So I go in the bathroom. He goes, "Hey man, I need a favor. Help a brother out, man. Can you help a brother out?" And I'm like, "We're in a men's room in New York," and a dude says, "Can you help a brother out?" My inclination is to say, "No, I can't help a brother out." So before I can even say that, he says, "It's nothing, man. I just need you to come over here. I'm having trouble standing up. I gotta take a leak. Just stand over here." And he was like wobbling. And he's like, "I just need to lean up against you while I take a leak." I was like, "Oh, okay, fine." So I go over there, and I just sort of stuck my arm out so he had something to lean on. He takes his leak and goes, You're a bro, man. Thanks, man. You're a bro." So I was like, "Yeah, I'm your bro." And I'm like, "How did this guy get in here?" He just reeked of beer and you name it. He smelled like he hadn't quite made it to the men's room. Okay, let's put it that way. So I go back out there, and I said to my brother, I was like, "Man, I got a doozy of a New York story for you, but I'll tell you later." So we go on, and Les comes out, and so one thrill was he calls up Eric Johnson to play with, to jam with him, which was great. And so they're like whispering and huddling. And Les kind of jokes into the microphone and goes, "Ha ha ha, we're trying to decide what to play. We don't know what to play." And I said, "Play Misty, Les, play Misty." And he goes, "Great idea. We're going to play Misty for that young man right there." And I was like, oh my God, I spoke to Les Paul, and he answered me, and he's going to play my request, which they did. He and Eric played Misty, and it was fantastic. Now, Les is, 90, 91 years old or whatever he was at that point. So it wasn't, he's not doing How High the Moon type stuff, right? But he sort of had adjusted his playing to what he could do, and it was the most lyrical, beautiful, gorgeous Les Paul guitar playing. He did not disappoint, I'm telling you. He couldn't do that stuff anymore, and that was fine. He did other stuff, and it was fantastic. So I'm just in heaven. I'm like, God, I'm seeing the man, which was great. And he played my request, which was great. And then Eric plays, I don't know, 2 or 3 tunes and goes away, and they play another few songs. And he goes, "Hey, we got another friend of ours here tonight. He's gonna come up and play with us. Welcome up, Zakk Wylde." And Zakk actually had brought that Bullseye Custom, the white and black. So he brought it, and he got up, and of course, as soon as he walks up on the stage, I was like, "Oh, that's the homeless dude I helped take a leak half an hour ago." And sure enough, it was. And Zakk, you know, in that half an hour or whatever it was, an hour, he had certainly continued drinking. So he goes up there and Les says, "What do you want to play?" And Zakk, of course, says, "Let's play Red House," right? And Les goes, "Yeah, great idea." Now when Eric went up and played with Les, Eric knows, okay, Les is going to do what Les can do at 90 years old. I'm not going to go up there and do Cliffs of Dover on over these chord changes for Misty. I am going to complement Les's playing and make Les shine. You know what I mean? Like Eric knows how to jam with someone as an unselfish jamming partner. He gets it. The guy's a gentleman. He's a complete class act. He gets it. Zakk Wylde was not any of those things. He goes up there and he plays Red House like Zakk Wylde would play it. And it's the same thing I've heard, and I've heard a couple of bootlegs. Or when he was in he did a few shows with the Allman Brothers in the late 80s, I guess it was, or whenever that was, early 90s, I guess. I guess before Warren Haynes came along, I don't know. But he was filling in the Allman Brothers, and that was exactly what he did. He went in and he played Zakk Wylde over the Allman Brothers, which was a complete disaster. He did exactly the same thing. I know in terms of facility and what he can do with the style of music that he plays, Zakk Wylde is a great guitar player. I don't deny that. He's fantastic for that style. But he well, there's no other way around it. He absolutely embarrassed himself jamming with Les. I would argue he embarrassed himself more so on stage than he did in the men's room when he needed assistance taking a leak. So I'm sure he's a fine man. I'm sure he's a decent guy. He might have just had a rough night that night. I am thoroughly unimpressed with Zakk Wylde for the rest of my life because of that night. But Les was fantastic. Eric Johnson was just the consummate gentleman and guitar player to jam with that night, and did everything you would want, and even said a few nice things about Les and what an honor it was, you know. And you could tell that they knew each other. They had played together a few times. With Zakk, I don't know. I couldn't tell whether Les even knew who he was. He knew his name, so he introduced him, but I don't know if they really knew each other. But anyway, that's the night. I think it was 05 or 06, sometime around there, because Les died, I don't know, like two or 3 years later. I think he died in 09 or something. So it was toward the end, but yeah, a great night. My brother and I just, the whole way home, we were just saying, "I can't believe we saw Les Paul. I can't believe we saw Les Paul. I can't believe we saw Les Paul." It was awesome. Good luck.